My name is Kelsey Nakarado, 32 years old, and 3 weeks before my wedding, I learned that love can survive deployments, injuries, nightmares, and distance. But sometimes it dies because someone cares more about photographs than people. I'm a veteran, 2 overseas tours, came home with most of my body intact and a few invisible things still being repaired. Some of the people who kept me alive weren't nearly as lucky. The wedding was supposed to happen in 3 weeks. 4 years together with my boyfriend Adrian, engaged for 18 months, deposits paid, invitations mailed, seating charts argued over, the whole ridiculous machine already moving. I thought I knew him. My bridal party wasn't traditional. My closest friends were the people I served with 5 veterans who had carried pieces of my life when I couldn't carry them myself. Maya lost part of her right arm below the elbow. Cass still lived with severe burn scarring across her neck and cheek. Jordan walked with a heavy limp after shrapnel tore through her leg. These weren't friends from yoga class. These were people who had dragged me through dust, blood, panic attacks, funerals, recovery, and civilian life. Then the text arrived. I was at work when my phone buzzed. "Hey, babe. I talked with Mom, and we think it's probably better if your army friends skip the wedding ceremony. Some people already said they might feel uncomfortable around them, and we don't want the photos looking strange. They'll understand, right? Love you." I read it once, then again, then 6 more times. My chest didn't tighten. It actually went strangely quiet. I replied with 2 words. Understood. That was all. I left work early. First stop, the venue. The coordinator smiled when I walked in. Final seating updates? No, I said calmly. I'm canceling the wedding. Her smile disappeared. I explained enough for her to understand without saying too much. Irreconcilable differences discovered late in planning. We'd lose around $4,200. I didn't care. She offered condolences. Said she'd notify catering and flowers through their package agreement. Then I called Maya. She answered immediately. What happened? I didn't realize my voice sounded broken until she asked. I told her. 30 seconds of silence. Then, what do you need? I need a party, I said. Saturday. For everyone. Done. That night, Adrian was home cooking pasta like nothing happened. He kissed my forehead, asked how work was, asked if I wanted extra garlic bread. I stared at him moving around our kitchen and wondered how long someone could hide who they were. We need to talk, I said. He smiled. About what? The wedding is canceled. He laughed. Actually laughed. Wait, you're serious? Yes. Kelsey, come on. Over a text? Over what the text said. He sighed dramatically. My mom's friends are important people. We're making impressions. Your friends are military. They understand sacrifice. I looked at him. Sacrifice? Yes. No. Sacrifice is Maya relearning how to button shirts with one hand. Sacrifice is Cass spending 2 years avoiding mirrors. Sacrifice is Jordan waking up every morning in pain. He rolled his eyes. Actually rolled his eyes. You're twisting this. You said they make people uncomfortable. I said the ceremony photos last forever. That sentence hit harder than the original text. Forever. As if scars ruined memories. As if survival ruined aesthetics. You hear yourself, right? I asked. You're overreacting. No, I said quietly. I'm reacting correctly. His expression shifted slightly. You didn't actually cancel. I did. His face lost color. The next 3 hours were exhausting. Crying. Blaming. Half apologies. I'm sorry you took it that way. I'm sorry my mom got involved. I'm sorry you're being emotional. Then came the part I should have expected. His mother arrived. She stormed through the apartment door already angry. You're ruining his future over strangers. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Not secretly. Openly. They aren't strangers, I said. She pointed toward framed military photos on the shelf. All those injured people make others uncomfortable. Why should my son's wedding become about crippled veterans? The room went silent. Adrian didn't defend me. Didn't defend them. Didn't defend anyone except himself. Mom, he whispered weakly. She ignored him. You women from the military always make trauma your personality? That one almost got me. Almost. Instead, I looked at Adrian, not his mother. Him. Because people reveal themselves through what they allow. You have until Saturday, I said. For what? To move out. His mother started yelling. He started crying. I started feeling strangely peaceful. That night I slept on Maya's couch. Before sleeping, she handed me a beer and asked one question. You okay? I stared at the ceiling. No. Then I smiled a little. But I think I will be. Because the wedding was dead, and something much more important had survived. Saturday arrived faster than I expected. The wedding was supposed to have been final dress fittings, seating chart arguments, and my future mother-in-law complaining about centerpieces. Instead, I walked into a private room at a barbecue restaurant with smoke in the air, country music playing too loud, and 18 people standing when I entered. Maya hugged me first. Jordan saluted dramatically with her beer. Cass yelled, "Look who finally dumped the dead weight." Everyone laughed. And for the first time in days, I did too. Long wooden tables stretched across the room. Brisket trays covered nearly every inch of space. Someone had made a cardboard sign that read, "Congratulations on your better decision." I nearly cried reading it. Adrian had once complained these gatherings were too intense. Said military people always talked like nobody else existed. Looking around that room, I realized something. These people existed for each other in ways he never understood. We ate too much, told stories we'd already told 100 times. Maya removed her prosthetic and used it to scratch her back, making half the room choke laughing. Then, Cass stood up with her glass. "The wedding would have been nice," she said. "But honestly, I'm glad Kelsey chose us." My throat tightened. She continued, "Because when people show you who becomes disposable during hard moments, believe them." Nobody joked after that. A few people wiped their eyes. I definitely did. Someone took photos. Lots of them. Me squeezed between Jordan and Maya. Cass smiling with burn scars fully visible and absolutely beautiful. Group photos with arms around shoulders. No hiding. No adjusting angles. No removing anyone. I uploaded 8 pictures that night with one caption. "Surrounded by the best people I know. Wouldn't trade this for anything." I didn't mention the canceled wedding. I didn't need to. By Sunday morning, mutual friends were texting. "Wait, what happened? Why isn't Adrian there? Was the wedding moved?" Then Adrian called. I ignored it. Then 12 texts. Then his mother. Blocked. Then came the neighborhood post. One of my friends sent screenshots. His mother had written a long dramatic post in our local community group saying I had abandoned her son because of my untreated trauma, that I was unstable, aggressive, and needed help. Aggressive. I'd spent 4 years in therapy making sure trauma never controlled my life. Aggressive. Because I refused discrimination. I stared at my phone, while anger slowly replaced shock. Then another screenshot arrived. She'd written, "People should know who they live near." That part did it. I opened my recordings. Found the conversation from my apartment. The one where she called my friends crippled veterans. The one where Adrian stayed silent. I uploaded the audio with one sentence. For context, here's why the wedding ended. Then I turned my phone face down. 20 minutes later, it exploded. Messages, calls, notifications. Friends I hadn't spoken to in years. Former service members. People I barely knew. By evening, the recording had spread far outside our neighborhood. Adrian finally reached me through email. "You had no right to post that." 5 minutes later, Mom's getting attacked online. Then, please remove it. Then, you're ruining our lives. Our interesting word choice from someone who stayed quiet. I never answered. Tuesday night, around 11, someone started pounding on my apartment door. I froze for exactly 1 second before checking the camera. Adrian. He looked terrible. Wrinkled clothes. Dark circles. Panic. "Kelsey!" he yelled. "Open the door!" I stayed inside. "We need to talk." "We already did. You're destroying everything." I almost laughed. Instead, I asked, "What exactly did I destroy?" Silence. Then, "My job is asking questions now. Not you hurt me. Not I miss you. His job." I leaned against the wall. "You should leave. Kelsey, please. You wanted people excluded because they made others uncomfortable." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" "Nothing. Just breathing through the door. Then anger." "You picked strangers over me." That sentence landed differently now. Strangers. The same word again. People who held pressure on my wounds. People who visited hospitals. People who answered 2 a.m. phone calls. Strangers. I grabbed my phone. "I'm calling if you don't leave." "You're heartless." "No," I said quietly through the door. "I just finally stopped being convenient." 10 minutes later, he was gone. I filed a report anyway. Paper trail. Because one thing military life teaches you is simple. Document everything. That night, our group chat changed its name. Not wedding party. Not bridal squad. Wedding crashers. Jordan immediately sent. Best canceled wedding ever. For the first time since the text message, I went to sleep smiling. But I still didn't know the biggest consequences hadn't even started yet. A week later, the internet had mostly moved on. Adrian's world hadn't. Neither had mine. I found that out when my mom called while I was grocery shopping. "Sweetheart," she said carefully, "who is this woman screaming at me?" I stopped beside the cereal aisle. "What?" "She says you destroyed her son's career." Of course, his mother had found my mother, because apparently accountability now came with family outreach. I walked Mom through everything from the beginning. The text, the recording, the party, the neighborhood lies. Long silence. Then, "The women who came to Christmas?" Mom asked. "Yes." "The ones you said saved your life?" "Yes." More silence. Then, "I never liked Adrian anyway." I laughed. Actually laughed. "Why?" "He complained about my brisket." Love my mom. Later that night, Maya called. "You sitting down?" "Should I be?" Adrian's company situation got worse. Apparently, Adrian worked at a marketing firm downtown. Mid-level account manager. Good salary, comfortable office. One of his biggest clients? A national veterans organization. Someone still not me sent them the recording. I never found out who. Could have been one of thousands who saw it. Could have been someone who recognized his mother's voice. Could have been karma with Wi-Fi. The organization dropped the firm. Not because of me. Because companies that support injured veterans generally dislike hearing disabled veterans described as uncomfortable decorations ruining photographs. His company didn't fire him. That would have created legal headaches. Instead, they moved him internally. No more client meetings, no more presentations, huge pay cut, reduced responsibilities. I found out the details because his mother called my mother again. This time crying. Not screaming. Crying. "He can't afford his apartment now." Mom replied. "Then maybe he should move in with the woman who taught him this behavior." Then she hung up. People kept saying I ruined his career. I kept thinking, no, one text message ruined it. He just pressed send. The blocked emails became more frequent. "You've turned everyone against me. Mom won't leave the house. People think I'm cruel. Please just talk to me." Then the strangest one. "I miss us. Us." Interesting. Not once did he write. I was wrong. One Thursday afternoon, I got coffee with Cass. She caught me staring into space. You still replaying it? Yeah. What part? I thought about that. The part where I didn't see it sooner, she smiled sadly. You did? I looked up. She continued. You remember my birthday dinner? Unfortunately, yes. Adrian skipped because restaurants made him uncomfortable around visible injuries. At the time, I believed him. Then there were unit reunions he avoided. The comments about military people being too intense. The way he once whispered after meeting Jordan, "People stare when we're out with her." I had filed every moment under stress. Miscommunication, bad wording, small flaws. But red flags rarely arrive waving. They arrive disguised as preferences. 3 weeks after the breakup, I finally went back into the spare room where wedding stuff had taken over our apartment. Centerpiece samples, unused invitations, table cards, the dress. I sat on the floor holding place cards with names that suddenly belonged to another version of my life. For the first time since canceling everything, I cried properly. Not over Adrian, over time, over plans, over the woman who kept shrinking uncomfortable truths because love felt more urgent. My phone buzzed. Group chat. Wedding crashers, Jordan. Emergency vote. Cabin trip or beach trip? Maya. Cabin. Beaches have sand. Sand is terrorism. Cass. Kelsey still alive? I laughed through tears. Those idiots saved me again without knowing it. A month later, Adrian somehow got through my filters again. The message was long. Very long. Paragraphs of apologies mixed with blame. He was sorry the text sounded harsh. Sorry his mother got involved. Sorry things spiraled. Then came the sentence that told me nothing had changed. I still think you overreacted. Relationships require compromise. Compromise. I stared at the screen. Compromise would have meant telling Maya she belonged in reception photos but not ceremony photos. Compromise would have meant asking Cass to hide her scars. Compromise would have meant teaching people who saved my life that they were acceptable only in limited doses. Then I noticed something else. He never apologized to them, only to me, as if they were side characters. Again, I deleted the email. No response. Months passed. Life got quieter, better. Therapy helped. Sleep improved. The nightmares that always got worse under stress calmed down again. I started noticing small things. I laughed easier. My apartment felt lighter. I stopped checking blocked folders. The guys, and yes, I still call them that even when half are women because military habits never die, planned a cabin trip. Nothing fancy. Too much grilled food. Cards. Stories repeated for the 100th time. Jordan brought enough snacks for an apocalypse. Cass brought her girlfriend from burn survivor support group who instantly fit in. Maya brought 3 prosthetic attachments and spent an hour opening beer bottles with different ones for entertainment. The first night there, we sat outside around a fire. Orange light. Cold air. Too much smoke. Perfect. Maya nudged me. Regret anything? I looked around. At scars reflecting firelight. At prosthetics resting casually beside folding chairs. At people who answered every call. At people who never once asked whether someone looked good enough to belong. Then I thought about the deposits, the dress, 4 years, the future I thought I wanted. No, I said, not even a little, because my wedding was supposed to show me who would stand beside me forever. It did, just not in the way I expected. And if I had to lose a fiancé to learn the difference between people who love appearances and people who love people, $4,200 was cheap tuition.